will whet your appetite for the Scorpions' historic debut in Africa's showpiece football event. We will bring you all the build-up and actions to Cameroon with in-depth analysis and debates on key issues. Looking at all preparations for the Gambia's maiden participation in the Nations Cup. Road to AFCON airs every Monday only on GRTS at 9 p.m. Be part of it, and let's see up the darling Scorpions to Cameroon in style. Contact GRTS Marketing to be a sponsor, and together, let's make the Gambia's first AFCON a memorable experience. Are you bracing up for the Gambia's maiden AFCON appearance? Then join us on the road to Cameroon. A special show that will whet your appetite for the Scorpions' historic debut in Africa's showpiece football event. We will bring you all the build-up and actions to Cameroon with in-depth analysis and debates on key issues. Looking at all preparations for the Gambia's maiden participation in the Nations Cup. Road to AFCON airs every Monday only on GRTS at 9 p.m. Be part of it, and let's see up the darling Scorpions to Cameroon in style. Contact GRTS Marketing to be a sponsor, and together, let's make the Gambia's first AFCON a memorable experience. Are you bracing up for the Gambia's maiden AFCON appearance? Then join us on the road to Cameroon. A special show that will whet your appetite for the Scorpions' historic debut in Africa's showpiece football event. We will bring you all the build-up and actions to Cameroon with in-depth analysis and debates on key issues. Looking at all preparations for the Gambia's maiden participation in the Nations Cup. Road to AFCON airs every Monday only on GRTS at 9 p.m. Be part of it, and let's see up the darling Scorpions to Cameroon in style. Contact GRTS Marketing to be a sponsor, and together, let's make the Gambia's first AFCON a memorable experience. Are you bracing up for the Gambia's maiden AFCON appearance? Then join us on the road to Cameroon. A special show that will whet your appetite for the Scorpions' historic debut in Africa's showpiece football event. We will bring you all the build-up and actions to Cameroon with in-depth analysis and debates on key issues. Looking at all preparations for the Gambia's maiden participation in the Nations Cup. Road to AFCON airs every Monday only on GRTS at 9. It's great to be back for our Road to AFCON program here on the Gambia Radio and Television Services. As you know, the Scorpions are preparing for their maiden appearance at the Africa's showpiece football event. Well, we all know at the moment, the political climate is taking over everything, but you know what? We will not allow it to dominate our preparations for the African Cup of Nations, because this is the Gambia's first African Cup of Nations and everyone is excited. So the build-up starts here on the Gambia Radio and Television Services. As we promised, you have been watching the promo for quite a long time. I know a lot of you have been expecting for the program to start. Well, we are here, kicking it and rolling it. And with me in the studio is Musa Sise, who is the head of the media committee for the National Coordinating Committee tasked to raise $117 million for the AFCON's preparations. Musa, welcome to the Road to AFCON special on GRTS.
Thank you very much, Modu. It's good to be here to talk about this all-important event.
Good. And of course, I have Sadibu Kamaso, an executive member of the Gambia Football Federation and also a member of the fundraising committee. Sadibu, welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Jallo. I'm happy to be here.
Good. And it's good that we are in the same tavan. Musa is the odd one here.
Because he's the boss.
Oh no.
Anyway, we'll be talking about a host of things that have been happening and that has happened in the past and is happening towards the fundraising of the $117 million for the Scorpions preparation for their maiden participation at the African Cup of Nations. Musa and Sadibou will take us through what has happened, what is happening, and what will happen as far as these monies needs to be raised before the African Cup of Nations. And we'll also be talking about the Scorpions camp. As we all know, the Scorpions are currently in Dubai, where they'll be playing New Zealand in a very, very important test game. We'll also be talking about that briefly. But first, it's the fundraising, which is the headache for now, Musa.
Yeah. Rightly said, Modu. The fundraising is everyone's concern. It is the NCC's concern. It is my committee's concern. It's Sadibou's concern, because the fundraising is not up to in the level in which we want it to be. None of our committees will be functioning. They will be redundant, but hopefully not. It's important to know that it is happening, and we just have to start with where it started. Firstly, that is the President's individual donation of a cool $1 million, which goes a long way, and we all must commend him. I think it's the manner in which he did it, which really should get everyone going, should attract everyone's attention, should also make sure that everyone also, because an appeal that he made, that this is for everybody, me, myself, and everybody, is about the Gambia. So wherever you are as a Gambian, there is nothing stopping you, because we have lots of avenues available to the public to make sure that they can also, contribute. Genuinely, meaningfully, because at the end of the day, it's about us, it's about Gambia, it's about our team, not any other team but our team. So to have everyone take part in the contribution, to raise the required amount of money so that the boys can go and at least get us a respectable performance in our maiden appearance at the AFCON, I think is everybody's business. So that is a good beginning. Of course, everybody knew we were here some 2 weeks ago to talk about Africel's exclusive partnership with the NCC as its official GSM partner, which raised a cool $8 million in cash. Towards the preparation of the the team, and of course the other avenues in which the fundraising events, which is slated for the 27th of this month, another one popped up in December, all to raise funds for the national team, and of course the platforms on the the AfriMoney account that's been set up already, so that everybody, whether you are an account holder or not, you can go in there and donate anything that you want. The number is 288-288, 288-288. Or whenever you want to call, anytime you call, that is, you want to call, you send an SMS to 2888, or you call 2888, you can donate a cool $5 towards this drive. So all these are avenues. Even for those outside the country or the source of this Gambia, can also go online. There's a a GoFundMe account out there. You can equally put in whatever you want there just to support the national team. So these are some of the things so far that's happening, and they are going. And I forgot to talk about one very important thing, Sadibou. The all-important bank account is finally out.
Absolutely. I can't tell you how happy I am to learn of the opening of the bank account, because with the bank account now, people can just walk into any trust bank account and trust bank branch and drop in whatever amount they would like to put in towards the fundraising drive.
Okay. That's a very significant development. How would people be able to access the bank account?
I think we should have the bank account, scrolling down here, and so that everybody can see. So if you can get your phone out, and then we can read the number. But what's more important is, if you walk into any trust bank in this country, I want to donate to the NCCs. That's for the Road to Cameroon, AFCON. I think the banks will tell you this is what it is, and you can chip in anything that you want. That's how simple it is, because there's one account there under the Sports Council, and it's the NCC, the National Coordinating Committee. I think the entire trust bank system right now knows that an account is being opened for purposely the NCC, so that anybody who walks in can deposit any amount you want, Modu.
Okay, we will try to get the bank accounts on the screen before the end of the program. But Sadibou, this is the race against time. The projected money that is supposed to be raised is 117 million, and we're just under 2 months before the African Cup of Nations. So what more is being done at the National Coordinating Committee to ensure that things get into gear for these monies to be raised?
Well, actually, since the NCC was inaugurated, on the 30th of August this year, a lot of meetings have been held because there are different committees that are responsible for different responsibilities. You have the Finance and Fundraising Committee that is chaired by Idimas Job. You have the Logistics Committee, which I'm Vice Chair, the Media Committee, which Musa is the Chair. What we've been doing is work in different groups to ensure that we work collectively to try to raise as much money as possible. What the Finance and Fundraising Committee wanted to do was to create a brand so people can identify the NCC with and this fundraising activity with. That has been done. I'm sure you can see some banners and billboards across the country that AfriCell has provided, which says "They are Gambians, let's make history together." All these things, what we're trying to do was to create a brand so people can understand this is what we're up to. Meetings have been held. Letters have been written to different stakeholders, different business establishments, and different corporate bodies in order to try to get them to put in some monies. But then, notwithstanding, AfriCell has also created a platform, which is this SMS platform that you can text 288 for people who want to donate any amount. You could be doing, I do that like every day. I send $5, send again and send again and send again. But then AfriCell was one of the first business entities that came up with a cool $8 million and said, hey, this is what we have on the table for the NCC, and we want to contribute this amount. They also have some other areas, some other avenues that they have tried to do, to bring in, to ensure we raise as much money as possible. So we at the NCC are trying as much as possible to sensitize people so that people can understand that even this 117 million that we are talking about is not enough. We know the Gambia is not very financially endowed. We're not as financially buoyant as other countries are, but we will try to do as much as we can, because I was privy to have gone to Limbe together with Ibuseka of the Logistics Committee and Commander Fofana, who's also part of the Logistics Committee of JOC. And when we got there, we were amazed, because what they were telling us is, all the other countries have been here already. Where were you? They've been here. They've chosen the hotels. They've already paid for the hotels, and they've gone back. And you're just coming in. So for us, we thought we could have come a lot earlier. So this fundraising drive is helping us to raise as much money, not only to cater for the national team, but we want to take funds as well. We're looking at those avenues, because you do not want to go to a stadium where there are other countries with their supporters and we cannot. We know the average Gambian is not in a position to fund himself or herself to go to the AFCON. So what we want to do, like other countries would do, is to try to take some funds, and all these fundraising activities we're doing now is to help cater for all of that. And we are pushing as much as possible. We are aware that the normal elections, the presidential elections, has overtaken most of these things, but that hasn't stopped us. We're trying to do the best we can so we can raise enough money to take us there and do the best we can.
Musa, as part of the sensitization to create the awareness for the general public to understand and feel part of the process, where are we in that?
As Sadio mentioned earlier on, you can never have enough in sensitization, but we're not stopping at anything. As I speak to you right now, the radio art is out, in which we want to send to every station, so that it can be broadcasted, so that everyone within the source of this country would either hear or see something about the AFCON. So it doesn't matter where you are. I think every one of us listen to a radio, and of course everybody watches television, as we are doing right now. The art would be out equally. The TVC will be out, which we think would be running on both social media and, of course, the national broadcaster, who is leading this, championing our cause into Cameroon, so that at least sensitization will be done. Besides that, also, we have lots of things on social media. On the Twitter, we have a Twitter account, we have a Facebook account, we have an Instagram account. Everything that's happening around the NCC is being posted, handled by Moduba and Babukar Kamara, who are part of the committee, to make sure that every single individual is made aware. We're also trying to make sure that all these things we are doing, are also translated into the local languages so that no one will be left behind, because it's important. In Gambia, I believe if you can speak English, you can speak Wolof or you can speak Mandinka, but we don't want to take chances because we don't want anyone to come forward to suggest that, man, Deguma Pol or Deguma Jola or Deguma Sarahole. It's for everybody, and we try to make sure that I'm trying to find out who can do me any of these languages, so that we can have them broadcasted. We don't want to leave anyone or nothing to chance. As we are here, as you mentioned, this is an everyday, every Monday program, but we hope we can equally be here other days or subsequent programs to talk about the AFCON and how everybody can be involved. And because it's important, the other important thing to note is that, and Sadibu talked about it, businesses in the country, no one is left behind. Even if our letter did not reach you one way or the other, you know what's happening. We're urging everyone to come forward and, of course, play your quota. There are two things that's happening. Businesses have been written to be part of the NCC, to come and be part of the national team, to see how best you can be a corporate partner or a sponsor. And equally, we are waiting to come, because the earlier you come, the more you enjoy the duration of the partnership with the NCC as we move towards the AFCON. We're also having solicited support for the next, the first fundraising event, which is going to be more corporate. It's for businesses and, of course, affluent individuals to come and buy tables. It is not about the party per se, but to see that you are contributing, you're coming forward, and you're identifying yourself with what's happening with the national team. So these are things that we don't want to leave to chance. If you've been written to, you know we've been written to you. The team is going to come around to meet you and your offices, wherever you are. Kindly, please, get yourself ready so that we can discuss most of these things more.
Musa, it appears the number to call is already on the screen, and it appears as many people are already on the line waiting to be part of the program. But we will give you the opportunity to call and have your say on the program. But we'll be taking a very short break, and then we'll be back with the discussions here on the Gambia Radio and Television Services. It is the road to AFCON, and we are all part of it together. Let's see of the Scorpions to the African Cup of Nations in grand style. Shortly, it's Angola. The game is underway now. Angola versus the Gambia, and Angola attacking, and it's Winston Eduardo. Angola takes the lead. An unstoppable strike from Eduardo. Modou Diop absolutely have no chance of stopping that goal, and Angola takes the lead inside the 3rd minute of the game. What a perfect start for the home side. How would Coach Tom Sanfe and his charges respond to that early goal? 16 minutes played here at the 11th November Stadium, and the Gambia on the attack. Modou Seka Barrow returning to the team inside the box, cuts back the ball, and Hassan Ceesay arrives, headed the ball into the back of the net. What a diving header, and what a goal from the Gambia number 9. Brilliant equalizer. The Gambia back in the game. It's 1-1, and you can see the celebrations from the Gambian fans in Angola. Hassan Ceesay combining brilliantly with Modou Seka Barrow, and the powerful number 9 flew himself, heading the ball past the Angolan goalkeeper. What a goal, what a combination that was from Modou Seka Barrow, and Hassan did very well to get his header in between the defenders and level the tie for the Gambia. 1-1, game on, Gambia back in the game. Oh, the Angola goalkeeper missed the ball. Hassan with the follow-up, and Hassan taps the ball into the back of the net. The Gambia leads. 18 minutes played. The Gambia leading by 2-1 here in Angola. What a howler that was from the Angolan goalkeeper, and a brilliant follow-up by Hassan Ceesay, who tapped the ball into an empty net to give the Gambia the lead. What a turnaround of events here at the 11th November Stadium in Angola, where the Gambia is leading by 2-1. The second half is underway. Angola throwing everything forward in search of the equalizing goal, desperate to equalize. They have all the numbers in front. And that is a very powerful shot. But goalkeeper Modou Diop was equal to the task. That is a brilliant save from the Gambian shot stopper to keep the Gambia in the game. The header comes in, it's a looping one, it's a difficult ball for Modi Job, but he did very well to tip the ball over the bar. That's sensational from the Saudi-based shot stopper. Brilliant from Modi Job. Angola throwing everything in the dire minutes of the game, and that's a counter-attack. Babgar Steve Trawale, who returns back to the team, finds Hamza Bari. Hamza lays it for the arriving Suleiman Mark. 3-1 to the Gambia against Angola inside Luanda. And there goes the final whistle. The Gambia wins emphatically by 3-1. And what a perfect way to start the 2021 African Cup of Nations qualifiers. Tom Sanfe and his boys has delivered. No one saw this one coming. They trailed inside the 3rd minute, but fought back. 2 quick fire from... Are you blessing memories of that vital away win in Luanda to kickstart the Gambia's first qualification to the African Cup of Nations? I'm seeing Sadibu picking up the mic. I know.
I was actually there. I can imagine this day because I was the head of delegation. And, you know, because what happened was the first time we went during the World Cup qualifiers, they beat us 2-1. I didn't sleep that whole night. So when we came the second time, this guy even disappeared with our passports. So we were there at the VVIP, and then they scored 1-0. All of a sudden, I started sweating. So the guy was telling the other guy, look at him. When they scored, I jumped with my suit. So I can remember, I have fond memories of this.
Of this one, yeah. Indeed. Well, we'll be opening the lines, and Musa, we have the bank account on the screen. Yeah. Maybe you can elaborate more on the bank account and what does one need to do to be able to send money into this bank account?
Thank you, Modo. I don't think anybody who's fond of banking Musa, in this, just a quick one.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like we have a caller. Let's take the caller. Hello.
Okay.
Hello.
He's gone.
Okay, he's gone.
Okay, as I said, I think everyone in this Gambia is very much aware of what it takes to bank and how to bank. So it doesn't matter who you are or what you are. You know the Trust Bank account, outlets. You know where they are in the country, wherever you are, from Bassett to Banjul. Just walk in there. Just ask for the, NCC's bank account. That's the National Coordinating Committee of the Gambia, it's not the Gambia Football Federation, but of the Sports Council. And just tell them you want to donate to support the Scorpions. Everybody, anyone, I think, is very much aware of it, because this is an agreement we had with them that they also need to play their part in making sure that the number is so open and accessible to everyone. So we hope and wish that they will do the same thing, so that they will facilitate anybody who walks into the bank to make sure that the monies can be deposited into this account.
Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Good evening. No problem. Ito di mani ba kumandiro la mintole?
Jeto fansu le boja ule busumbala.
Ora fansu busumbalan kolle.
Be Gambia ne Angola check le jamba jireka. Kele.
Kenalen.
Ha? Ika moyle ba.
Ke moyle la miro ti lafta mo contribute la.
So na miro momenti. Ora mo mol ni nyanta contribution o kala nyanta trial nga o mo no back. Sibigi. So akuni ay kontane baba bakel.
Okay.
Ay kontane back. Ay kontane so ndala miro minti nga kata nga ni Africa Cup of Nations for ay na Gambia ka. Inshallah. Ko na penna duala fala ko kono back. Ko altalla sende ma ni Africa Cup of Nations ay na Gambia ka.
Abaka bake
ko mo ndala contribution o ana altul min fana be shiri palen o nyinto. O altul fana be min nyini ka alama ala ya be so ne andal. Alma la place o kapola ila horma. Allah kuma kama beta da back.
Abaka bake fansu kontanta bake.
Yes,
I needed to add something to what Musa said about the about the bank account, because everybody knows now. It's an established fact that most of these banks have apps, mobile apps. So some people don't even need to go to the bank. You have a mobile app. Trust Bank has an app. EcoBank has an app. GT Bank has an app. And now the banks are doing interbank transfers. So all you need is with the bank account number, you can even transfer whatever, even $1 seed, $5 seed, $10 seed, 100,000. It depends on whatever anybody can contribute. Just send through because your name would appear and we will take note of that. At the end of the day, we will appreciate everything.
And some people also don't want to be seen to be donating. So that's a perfect way of going about supporting. And I just want to go back to what Fansu Bojang
Let's take that call.
Yes.
Let's take that call. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Naga?
Jama rek naka nga tudak fo nek di callé?
Ma Mr. Balde Nema Kunku.
All right, Mr. Balde, yang si Road to Afcon programme bi GRTS, lu sa contribution?
Man tamit may buga consider comme amna luma buga lacc tuuti.
Okay.
Waaw xam nga ay comme donation bi ñu ne comme AfriMoney.
Waaw.
waxal ñu ngi laa déglu.
waaw ok pour donation bi xam nga am na yu jàng am na yu jàngul comme soo fekkee ne yow affaire mobile ñu bari xamul ko yaa bëgg a donation fa nga war a dem pour nga loo mun a donation Scorpion di loolu laa bëgg a noo xam kaatu AfriMoney yeneen yi xam na ko yeneen yi xamu ko te man li nga gis ni ma xamuma ko naka la ko mun a play daal te ma bëgg a donation lu mun a tuuti rek loolu laa bëgg a am fan nga mun a dem nga donation li nga am.
Very good, Mr. Balde sa laajte bi am na solo trop. Dinañ la tontu.
waaw si Balde jërëjëf si laajte boobu comme ni ñu ko waxee rek bàyyiwuñ kenn gannaaw képp koo xam ne yaa ngi si réew mi fii nii su fekkee ne adu AfriMoney wala mënuloo use mënuloo woote wala nga send SMS to 2888 wala mënuloo use AfriMoney bu nga xam ne mooy 28888 doxal nga dem si national secretariat bu nekk si stadium bi sports council bi loo mun a joxe foofu noonu nga joxe kon nañ la jox receipt ne mu ne lii nga dolli yow tam si sa dolli li la am su ko defee bu ëllëg si bitee suñu waxee ne di nga ne yow lii nga dolli te nañ ko binda te nañ ko leeral ñëpp nañ ko gis dañ bëgg a jox nit ñëpp ñu am confidence li nga xam ne moom la ñoo def lii pour réew mi la ñu dellu rek si li nga xam ne loolu la fan su doon wax di ootee jógee Busumbala dañoo rafetlu lii yëpp du forcé am na ñoo xam ne ñu ngi sikki sàkka di waaye loolu taxul ñuy wax du forcé ñun ñëpp ñoo bokk lii réew mi la dafa am luñ mun ak luñ munut waaye lii ñun ñëpp a ko bokka lii moo tax ñuy génn si di ñaax ñëpp di ñaan ñëpp ne pour ñu ñoo bokka si jàppale ñu lii réew mee ko bokka ñun ñoo ko moom bu ñu kenn gis ne nguur gi la wala football association mosu ñoo am xaalis pour mun a yóbbu team Afghanistan Sadio moom ngi toog si football fédération bi la lu suma wax waaye moom a gën a xam loolu so baax na mu rafetlu loolu noonu nit ñi xam ko dafa am lu xew moo tax lii tam di xew Modou.
waaw lii yëpp Gambia la soo gisee veste bu ñu sol nii Gambia la wone so bi ñun ñëpp a ko bokka understand nga so foog
man solo
te xam nga
ok
li ma dama dellu si li Moussa wax rek mooy ne patriotisme parce que bi Gambia di qualify mu ngi ma fekk man DR Congo man maa Marcel executive director sports council ñoo fa nekkoon mu ngi si néegam maa ngi suma néeg waaye ñu ngi mel ni kii bi mu ma ne Gambia ko nañ ñun buñ taalee TV gis Gambia naka lañ tiimel fii ñu ñëw seen vidéo wan na la ne ñëpp a kontaan xam nga ñëpp mag yi ndaw ñi yëpp soo lii loo xam ne la loo xam ne dafa yóbbu Gambia si beneen level soo ku nekk loo mun di def because Moussa li mu doon wax noonu si yëfi SMS bi même soo jàngutee soo ubbee sa SMS bi soo bindee one wala two sax nga binda 2888 jarul nga binda lu bari dot sax soo ko fa defee 2888 dina la won ne donate nga $5 loo mun a def rek bés bu nekkaa rek dinañu jox dara
jàppale
yeah hello yeah hello
dama bëgg a contribuer si programme bi.
cool naka nga tudd ak foo nekk di koole tur bi ak foo nekk di koole
man la Aliou Mbengue Brikama.
all right Aliou yaa ngi si programme bi dugga nga
ok
luy sa contribution loo bëgg a contribuer si programme bi
non ñun si ñoo war a football association si naan business lañu war a dugal pour generate cash in addition to individual contributions si laa bëgg a yokk rek.
ok mun ngaa bantuwaat loolu because dégguñ li nga doon wax.
amin dellu si li nga waxoon because dégguñ ko leerut.
hello contribute my program is very, very interesting. And what I had wanted is, football is a very expensive business. And what may do better for the association, in addition to individual contribution, is good that they can liaise with places like area council to have a place in the market. They open a shop. Take, for example, like the FIFA hotel, which is actually producing some money. If we can have similar income-generating activities like that, in addition to individual contribution, I think that will be very, very helpful, because football is a very expensive endeavor, which cannot only depend on individual contribution. Looking at the situation in the Gambia, where individual contribution is not forthcoming as we expected. So the association is more powerful. They can engage with council and other institutions to get strategic places. Let's say, for example, like opening a stationery shop, where do you know how much money these foreigners are earning from these stationery shops? It's a whole lot of money. So if the Football Association can have a stationery shop where people are buying, so it is also producing money. The FIFA hotel also is producing money. Study places like Soma, Basel, Faraseni, and all these things are having business entities that are generating money. So you see that the little that you are having from individual contribution added to some of these income-generated activities will make a headway. I give you one example. Even if you have a piece of land where the youth can cultivate cassava, do you know 50 by 50 meter square cassava farm, do you know how much it costs? It's a hell lot of money. So I think we need to turn back into these income-generated activities in addition to individual contribution. I want to support you, and I want to thank you so much.
Thank you.
And they find time to contribute to this account personally.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I believe the GFF Marketing Committee was talking about the Football Federation trying to come up with some income-generating initiatives. I hope the
Modu, I think it's a good, brilliant idea,
exactly.
And it's something that one can look into. That said, the GFF is not a business entity. You know, there are certain limitations as to what the GFF can do. You understand? So those are things, these are ideas that we would like to explore. That's why the GFF has the GFF Football Hotel. You know, that can, run a hotel in order to be able to raise funds. But the primary objective is to be able to give teams the opportunity to stay there at a cheaper cost. Because GFF is not a business entity. It's not an established business entity that pays taxes and the like. Once you start businesses like that, you start paying taxes, and, it eats up into the activities that we do. We have mechanisms that we've put in place. I'm also a member of the Finance Committee, like mechanisms that we're trying to do to make GFF financially self-sustainable. These are, there are plans on the way, but GFF is not a business entity to be able to set up a farm, for instance. You're thinking of grassroots football rather than setting up a farm. Before setting up a farm and things like that, we want to develop the football until we get to a stage where our football has reached that level. Maybe we can, but that's why we're even doing merchandising, selling jerseys, so people can buy. But those are things that we would, but it's a brilliant idea from him, and we appreciate his thoughts.
The other important thing he talked about was trying to see how else we can open outlets in markets just to make noise for people to come forward. I think that's a brilliant idea. And I think that will work in the Basse, in the Jara Soma, Farafenyas coming down. I mean, it's something that I think we need to look into to see how best
And
it
I think I'm going back to what Mr. Balde said with regards to those who cannot use the phones. And I think it's a very valid point, because you might have not everybody would be able to walk to the National Sports Council, but if they have places in their localities, in their environment where they can easily go, walk in and deposit whatever they want to donate, I think that would also make easier.
That's a good one. We will look into that during the next NCC meeting to see how best we can come up with the logistics to at least help those who cannot come this far. But it's all about the outreach, and it's not a bad idea at all.
Finally, we have exhausted our time. Quickly, what is next for the NCC?
The NCC, all that we are asking for in the general public is to watch out for what's happening, follow the news, follow GRTS, follow all the outlets in the country for in the information surrounding the activities that could lead to how best we can respond for the for the national team as we move towards Cameroon. January is almost here. There are lots of things happening, but this is our focus. This is what we want the public to also focus on, because it's not confusing. It's bringing us all together, because it's about what we all belong to. It's about what belongs to all of us. So hopefully, as we move on, the fundraising is on the 27th, so all the businesses in this country, and I know they're watching, they're following what is happening. We don't need to knock on your door twice, Modu.
Sadibou, quickly.
Yes, just to add on to what Musa said, I've had few calls from individuals who've asked me, how do they become part of the whole NCC? How do they play their quota in the fundraising drive? Musa has said this. People can walk into the NCC, in the National Sports Council, to give whatever funds they have. As I said, those who are not literate enough to be able to send SMSs, you can just pick up your phone, call 2888. Just when you call, it will tell you you've donated $5. So kepa ko hamne munulo text wala munulo dem si sport council bi wala munulo dem si bank si, because hamne ni legi bank si nit dañ tok si biti di xaar mun nga jël sa téléphone rek nga call 2888. So call dina la wax ne donate nga $5. So bëggé callaat comme man lima dé def bés bu nekk dama dé send rek donate wala ma def one rek. And other establishments, other businesses, anybody who feels you want to be a part of this, because we want to make history. We do not want to go all the way up there and then people start calling, how do I become part of this? Because oftentimes that's what happens in the Gambia, with all due respect to businesses. But then things go all the way to the end and people want to come and associate themselves. Exactly. But we can do what Africell did. They knew we qualified. They came in and said, this is what we have. So businesses can go on and start bringing in whatever monies they have so we can make this a success.
All right, that does it for tonight's discussions on the road to AFCON, a special program here on the Gambia Radio and Television Services that will be looking and that will be bringing you build-up to the African Cup of Nations. As we all know, this is the Gambia's maiden participation at Africa's Showpiece football event. So let's enjoy the moment, let's support, let's see of the Scorpions in grand style. We'll be back here on Monday, the same time, for another edition of the Road to Cameroon. Until then, good night and enjoy the rest of our programs. The 10 p.m. news is up next. Are you present up for the Gambia's maiden AFCON appearance? Then join us on the Road to Cameroon, a special show that will whet your appetite for the Scorpions' historic debut in Africa's Showpiece football event. We will bring you all the build-up and actions to Cameroon with in-depth analysis and debates on key issues, looking at all preparations for the Gambia's maiden participation in the Nations Cup. Road to AFCON airs every Monday only on GRTS at 9 p.m. Be part of it.